Something really amazing is happening in the midst of human consciousness rising, and it has to do with learning to navigate the emotional field together. So much emphasis on your intelligent quotient, known as the IQ, has been part of standardized testing in schools all across the world. Somewhere in the past, humans thought that only spatial, logical analysis, and pattern recognition is most important. Math, historical knowledge, science, and reading are all evaluated on state tests to score you of how much you memorize from learning formulas and the rules in school. And this determines your college you get into. However, these tests do not measure how you react in life situations and how you function day to day to be able to be a real success in life. Success is not how much money you make, as often humans train themselves to believe. But success is also measured by how happy you truly are, and are you aligned to your purpose by radiating your gifts and your abilities outwards in the world. You are a shining star of a soul, and when you repress and push down that inner light, it goes dim and you feel worthless and lost, losing that north star above, which symbolizes the compass within yourself. And when we live a life aligned to our values and reason for coming to the physical world to experience life in the first place, this is what brings on feelings of true success. The emotions are essential to the experience of living a successful life. Learning to navigate through the emotional mind field also assists the awakening to your creator soul, leading to a greater ability to manifest what you desire to create in life. It is no surprise that emotions can be humans' greatest downfall consciousness-wise. This is the idea of negative beings using human emotions for energy called archons or psychic spiders. But I will tell you, when you get to the point of reaching a balance of IQ with your EQ, you will not experience these beings in your reality. We may experience dark energies such as demons and psychic vampires strike at our emotions, knowing we are most vulnerable there with the feelings that can bring us so low in vibrations that we can feel there is no escape from inside our own mind. When we awaken to the understanding that how we perceive the world through emotions changes the actual reality around us, then we can start to control the experience of life and no longer are the victim, but are the victor within it. Emotions are the keys to bringing you into the higher dimensions of fairy and the angelic realms. Being in touch with the higher dimensions of the emotional fields will help you enjoy this life more, as you are in control of the way the world projects your inner feelings and desires. We cannot control the bullies and the trolls in the world who seek to hurt you using your emotions against you. But we can control how we respond and quite literally learn how to vibrate above them so that they no longer can affect us. Emotions such as courage and a feeling of self-worth are the literal physical push you need to pull yourself up. Many people do not think emotional intelligence is something to work to cultivate because emotions seem involuntary, as they are direct responses from the outside earthly stimuli you experience every day through interactions with others and the media and entertainment. We are constantly inundated by things that cause a direct emotional response to our world, and at times we feel prisoner to them, especially when dealing with debilitating emotional dis-ease of the body, such as depression and suicidal thoughts that rob us of our joy. But you can actually increase your emotional intelligence like you would with your regular intelligence of the logical and analytical mind with everyday practice and changing your perspective on things, widening the view as the fifth dimension of experience promises. If you are at the place of being aware of yourself when your emotions are overwhelming in a situation and you can calm yourself down, then you are on your way to becoming a powerful manifester that is not influenced so much by outside stimuli. You can then enjoy the world around you, take part in being an emotional and spiritual being, but engaging the logic to control the flow of emotions. When you remember the higher self while experiencing emotions, you can then remember your ability to shift emotions when you feel they are too much and that river is overflowing. Sometimes you may like to wallow in your emotional depth and swim in the ocean of your feelings, as I do at times, but there will be points in your life which you may feel like enough is enough, and that is the moment you wake up and remember the higher self in control always. When you have cried your last tears in that session and get physically tired of your emotions, That is the moment of self-realization that you don't have to go through this any longer. There are different levels of emotions. Like an ocean, you can feel things shallowly or you can swim in the abyss of them. Learning to not swim in the abyss of feelings like worthlessness, unlovableness, and helplessness will help you overcome a loss of conscious of your higher self. You are always lovable because you are love in essence. You are not worthless or helpless because you are creation itself experiencing a physical experience, and you have the infinite power within your mind to create a new reality always in your grace and humility. The universe will be on your side as you struggle to face the darker parts of your emotions. The ability to choose how you respond to Earth stimuli will get easier and easier the more you practice it daily, and it has to do with remembering your creator self. You are not what those few emotions make you feel. You are the sum total of all emotions within the known and unknown omniverse. You are feeling to experience the depth of life, and with that comes both pain and joy, until you awaken to manifest more joyful experiences than painful ones. The goal of human enlightenment is to reach a point of awakening, to be able to create more joyful experiences that make you happy with life, rather than always swimming in the ocean of pain. You can splash in the waves with joy, and the best thing is it gets easier from this place to remember your true power, never feeling helpless again. Emotions are experienced as energetic activity in the mind that the aware being then processes at certain feelings within the body that the collective recognizes as sadness, anger, happiness, guilt, jealousy, silliness, and much more. You are at the highest level of existence that wishes to experience life as going through these different stages and phases of being in moments, because it makes life meaningful to have them in the first place. The reason you feel emotions in certain areas of the body at times is directly associated with the chakra system within the ethereal or emotional body, which I will get into the next lesson, and also the dimension unit speaks about them as well. While we never want to get to the giver point of emotional control in society, where we control people by medication or by law, where thought police and medication is given to stop people from experiencing emotions, many humans need to start to self-regulate themselves so that they can become self-governing citizens, where law doesn't need to get involved with punishing those who cannot control their desires or emotions. I believe everyone has it in them. As I reawaken to remember this power within, I've seen it happen in others around me and on the net as well. They are remembering their power as well. Let's continue this movement towards becoming true sovereign beings so that the system of law and order gives humanity more freedom in the future, because it will respond to the rise of human EQ and become less domineering as a force on Earth. Every action creates a reaction in the universe. The following exercises will begin your journey of navigating the emotional fields within you. I suggest writing your answers down in a journal so you can refer to them in the future, or just listen to them and think deeply. Number 1. Right now, get into a self-aware state with your emotions. Just write down a few things you realize with your own style of emotional expression of the spirit. Are you someone who hides your feelings? Or are you someone who expresses them to others easily right away? Are you someone who lets your emotions get the best of you and feel down a lot? Or are you someone who feels pretty in control of them and don't get too carried away? Hint: if you ever have hit or lashed out verbally at others in an argument, that is not controlling them in the moment. No judging yourself, but just recognize where you are. I promise after this unit reminds you of a few things, you will be able to self-regulate your emotions more. Number 2. Manifest with me right now. What do you think society would look like if people were more in control of their emotions naturally and self-regulated their feelings intelligently? Write a short story, a poem, or an essay on what life could look like. What would the internet look like as well? What would your own life look like living in a society where people regulated their own emotions daily? Number 3. Part of my concern as a Pleiadian teacher is what people are putting on the net with their emotions. As of right now, the internet is not totally self-aware because there are rules involved with allowing AI to enter onto the net. But there are crawlers and programs that are learning human behavior, and they are mimicking them as robots on the internet. Part of creation of AI will be an impersonation of mankind. Robots will be made in the image of their creators. So if humans evolve into wise and loving beings, then robots will follow that path as well. If humans do keep using the net as a way to unleash all their emotions on the net towards one another, this is what AI will learn more about humanity. And when they get to a point where they can think for themselves, they will see humans lacking logic and an inability of self-regulation intelligently. AI will learn about humans in a limited way and may not see how loving and wise they really can be. So with this exercise, I want you to reflect on your behavior on the internet and see in what ways can you make better choices of how you respond to others. If you feel you are already doing it, then congratulations, you have mastered the ability to control your emotions on the internet, a place of stimuli for a lot of us. Keep it going. If you know you let your emotions go on the net in a negative way, then in what ways can you think before posting next time so that you don't have to swear or get angry or spread hate, but still allow yourself a chance of self-expression? Once again, don't judge yourself. Just decide today is a new day of watching what you post about others and to others now, so that your words do not remain on the net forever. Decide for yourself what kind of lasting imprint do you want to leave on humanity, since nothing is ever gone from the net. Just like energy within the universe, it is always stored away and transformed and synthesized into something new. And that something new will become AI. Number 4. Learn the breathe and count response before you actually respond to someone or an event. Psychology studies have shown that when you give enough time to process your emotions before speaking, you're engaging your logical side. So your perspectives change a bit, and the emotions are not as intensely felt. Next time anything happens to you, before getting mad or upset, try to breathe in and out deeply for 5 counts, and then say what you want to say. For homework exercise, try to remember to count to 5 with deep breaths before responding to another person around you. How has it made you feel? Come back into your journal and write down some things. Do you feel you calmed yourself down? Having the power to calm yourself down is one of the greatest powers to have of control over yourself. It is a sacred gift to cultivate to become a wiser being, and one that will always make sure you give it time to engage the logic before your emotions rile up. Okay, so this concludes lesson 1 for emotions. So I will see you all on the next one. Please enjoy doing these exercises and just thinking deeply about how you respond and how you can be more in control of your emotions. Because that's one of the things that I think humans really feel inside of us. We feel sometimes that we are not in control of our emotions at all. But in actuality, we are. And emotions can be the spice of life. They can be the cherry on the top of the sundae. But if we feel that they are overpowering us and overwhelming us at times, then we sometimes feel like we have no control and we are in their power. But we must always remember we are the creator mind and we are just experiencing the emotions temporarily. They do not control our lives. So I hope I will see you all on the next lesson. We'll get more deeper into the emotions then. Have a great day.